All right, you guys, welcome to class. My name is Teacher Chad. This hour we are going to be practicing our reading and pronunciation as we read through a couple of short stories. The first short story we're going to take a look at is this one here. Okay, we started into it the other day for a little bit. This one is The Legend of Old Greenie, okay? All right, very good. I'm going to put it in the Google chat box as well. All right. Very nice. Let's see who we have in class so far. Hi there, Vincenzo. How are you?
I'm teacher.
Good, good. Nice to have you here. Hi, V.
Nice to see you.
Hi, V. How are you?
Hi, Jen. I'm doing well. Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Nice to have you here.
Yeah.
Okay. How about Konata? How are you? Hello. Your microphone is muted. Konata, how are you? Nope. Okay, let's go to Edson. Hi, Edson. How are you?
Hello, I'm good, and you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Nice to have you here.
Thank you.
Okay, and Amparo. Hi there, Amparo. Welcome to class.
Hi, teacher. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing well, thank you. Thank you. Let's see here. Hi there, Hugo. Hi, Hugo. Welcome to class. Nope, nothing. Let's try Hinata one more time.
Oh, hello, teacher. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Good to have you here.
Yeah, thank you, teacher.
Okay,
Hi,
and
how are you?
Hugo. Hey, Hugo. How you doing?
I'm doing great, and you?
Great, great. I'm doing awesome. Thank you. Okay, you guys. Let's go ahead and get rolling. Okay. Hi, Mario. Welcome to class. How are you? Mario?
Hello, teacher.
Hi, how are you?
Very well, thanks.
Great. Where are you from, Mario?
I'm from Uruguay, teacher.
From Uruguay.
Yes.
Okay, very nice. Great, good to have you here. All right, Amparo, let's start off with you. Please read from Kevin Pold. And stop here where it says across from him, please.
Me?
Yep, Amparo.
Okay, that's it. My connection is awful.
Okay.
Kevin pulled the flannel blanket tighter around his body as the cold lake breeze drifted off the soft wave toward the shore. The burning warmth coming from the bonfire was becoming weaker, and Kevin finally felt the cold of the night. He gazed at the faces that huddled around the glowing embers. His grandfather off to his right, his father directly across from him.
Okay, very good. Let's go to the word directly. Directly instead of directly. Okay, directly.
Directly.
Good. So, his father directly across from him.
His father directly across from him.
Okay, good. Let's go to grandfather. Now, in this word, this D in the middle does not need to be pronounced. Okay, so it's grandfather.
Grandfather.
Okay, so his grandfather off to his right.
His grandfather off to his right.
Okay, one more time. His grandfather off to his right.
His grandfather off to his right.
Good. Next up is the word huddled. Instead of ha-ha-dled, it's huddled.
Huddled.
Good, good. So he gazed at the faces that huddled around.
He gazed at the faces that huddled around.
Okay, very nice. Next is bonfire. Right here, instead of bonfire, bonfire.
Bonfire.
Good. The bonfire was becoming weaker.
The bonfire was becoming weaker.
Okay, good. And our last one here is pulled. Okay, instead of pooled with an oo, it's pulled.
Pulled.
Good. So Kevin pulled the flannel blanket.
Kevin pulled the flannel blanket.
All right, very nice. Very nice. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Next up is Edson.
Yep.
Edson, please read from and his younger sister. Okay, finish here.
All right.
And come down to here where it says upstate New York, please.
And his younger sister, Kelly, to his left. The only sound they heard was the gentle crash of the waves on the rocky shore. Kevin could just make out the lights of the cottages that sat on the opposite side of the lake, a couple miles away. He wondered if they were also bonfires that were flickering to their dark ends. Cuyahoga Lake, one of the biggest Finger Lakes in upstate New York.
Okay, very good. Okay, let's go to wondered right here instead of undered. Okay, give me an oo sound at the beginning. Wondered.
Wondered.
Okay, very good. So, he wondered if they were.
He wondered if they were.
Okay, good. Next here is couple. Instead of couple, it's couple.
Couple.
Good. A couple miles away.
A couple miles away. Does it
Okay.
sound like Chuasa?
What's that?
The couple is like Chuasa, the O, or not?
Yes. Oh, the schwa sound. Is that what
Yeah.
you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, schwa
Okay.
sound. Yeah, the right here in the middle, it is a schwa. Couple.
All right.
Okay. Now make sure you're hitting a good L here at the very end. Okay. So instead of couple with an oo sound, it's ul with an L. Couple.
Couple.
Good. A couple miles away.
A couple miles away.
Okay. Good. This word here, instead of opposite, it's oppa. Okay. So the first O is an ah. The second one is the schwa. Oppa, opposite.
Opposite.
One more time. Instead of oppo, oppa, opposite.
Opposite.
There you go. Okay, so it is on the opposite side of the lake.
On the opposite side of the lake.
Okay, very nice. Next one is cottages. Cottages.
Cottages.
Good, good. So
cottages.
good. The lights of the cottages.
The lights of the cottages.
Good. Right here, instead of only, the word here is only, only.
Only.
Good. The only sound they heard.
The only sound they heard.
Sound. Make sure to get that ND there. The only sound. The only sound they heard.
The only sound they heard.
Okay. And your last one is the word sister. Instead of sister with an E, long E, drop your tongue a little bit. Sister.
Sister.
Good. All right. Nice job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Next up, we have Hugo.
Okay.
Hugo, please continue from it isn't very wide. Finish here and come down to completing the feat.
Okay. Isn't very wide, but stretched to almost 40 miles or 64 kilometers in length. Kevin always wanted to swim across. Since he thought he could manage a couple of miles, but he could only dream of swimming its length. He figured he would get too tired early on, even though he was a very strong swimmer. But as he stared at the fire, he fantasized about completing the feat.
Okay, very good. Let's go to this word here. Okay, give me a good long E sound. Complete. Instead of completing, complete, completing.
Completing.
Good. About completing the feat.
About completing the feat.
Okay, very nice. Let's go to could only. All right. So on this word here, I need that D to jump out. Instead of saying could only, cool, okay, it's could only, could only.
Could only.
Yeah, take that D, connect it to only, could only.
Could only.
Good. But he could only dream of swimming.
But he could only dream of swimming.
All right, now focus on that D one more time, and instead of saying dream, dream. Give me a good DR. He could only dream of swimming.
He could only dream of swimming.
One more time. He could only dream of swimming.
But he could only dream of swimming.
Okay, very nice. Next one here is since. Make sure to pronounce the S sound at the end. Since.
Since.
Good. Since he thought he could manage.
Since he thought he could manage.
Okay. All right, and our last one here is stretches. Stretches.
Stretches. Stretches.
Okay, good, good. And we'll see here. So this is isn't very wide, but stretches to almost 40 miles.
Isn't very wide, but stretches to almost 40 miles.
Okay, that's going to be miles instead of
miles.
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 Good. But stretches to almost 40 miles. Try that.
But stretches to almost 40 miles.
Good. Much better. Much better. All right. Thank you, Hugo.
Thank you.
Okay, great. Let's go to Mario. Mario, please continue from climbing onto. Finish here.
Okay.
And let's have you read down to here where it says Kevin snapped his head up, please.
Okay. Climbing onto the opposite shore to the massive crowd that had gathered to cheer him on. He would be wrapped up in a blanket like the one he was wearing now, and his photography would be taken and put on the front page of the newspaper the next day with the headline, "Local boy swims the length of lake now champion." Kevin, hello, air to Kevin. Kevin snapped his head up.
Okay, good. All right, let's go to the H sound here. So instead of saying his head, okay, with a strong H, it's the H is a light breath. Head.
Head up.
Okay. All right. Less sound. So you're pushing the air. You're saying head. Okay. Instead of he, it's light. It's a light sound, like a breath, like you're breathing. Head.
Head.
Okay. All right. Let's try this. So Kevin snapped his head up.
Kevin snapped his head up.
Okay. Bueno, en vez de pronunciar la J así tan fuerte, okay, la H en inglés suena más como que uno está respirando. Okay. Menos sonido, right? So it's his head.
His head.
Almost. Just like you're breathing. Kevin snapped his head up.
Kevin snapped his head up.
Okay, all right. We'll keep trying this one. This one's a little challenging. But yeah, what it is, it's less of your tongue touching the back of your throat. But okay, we're almost there. Okay, let's go to local right here. Local. So this A is not an ah sound. It's the same as the O. Local.
Local.
Good. Local boy swims.
Local boy swims.
Okay, good. Next up is put. Right here, instead of put, with an oo, open your mouth. Put.
Put.
There you
Put.
go. Good. So, and put on the front page.
And put on the front page.
Okay, very nice. Next one is wearing. Give me a good R here instead of wedding. It's wearing.
Wearing.
Okay, one more time. Wearing.
Wearing.
Almost instead of wedding. Okay, your R cannot touch the top of your mouth. It's wearing.
Okay. Wearing.
That's pretty good. So he was wearing now.
He was wearing now.
Okay, almost. Wearing. He was wearing now.
He was wearing now.
There, that's better. Good job. Next up is gathered. Right here. In this word, you said gathered. Okay? The E does not make a sound. It is silent. So instead of saying gathered, it's gathered.
Got there.
Okay? With that D, gathered.
Gathered.
There you go. One more time. Gathered.
Gathered.
Okay, that's pretty close. Let's try this. That had gathered to cheer him on.
That had gathered to cheer him on.
Okay, watch that R. So let's try this here. I want you just to pronounce the R sound. I want you to say there.
There.
There you go. Good. One more time. There.
There.
Oh, watch the R. You don't want to say there and start rolling it. You don't want to roll. Okay, it's there.
Okay. There.
Good. So gather.
Gathered.
Good. And gathered.
Gathered.
Okay, that's pretty good. All right, let's go to this word here. The word is opposite. Opposite.
Opposite.
Okay, good. So, climbing onto the opposite shore.
Climb on the opposite shore.
The opposite shore. Climbing on to the opposite shore.
Climbing on the opposite shore.
Okay, onto the. Climbing onto the opposite shore.
Okay. Climbing on the opposite shore.
Okay, now, the E at the end of words is silent. So instead of saying opposite, it's opposite. It ends on the T. Opposite. The opposite shore.
The opposite shore.
Now this is shore.
Shore.
Yeah. So the opposite shore.
The opposite shore.
Good job. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Okay. Next up is Konata.
Okay, teacher.
Okay. Please continue from his grandfather. Okay. And let's see. 3. Almost there. Okay. Well, let's have you stop right here where it says glanced at each other on the next page. So starting at his grandfather, please.
Okay. His grandfather had been calling his name, but he had been too busy daydreaming to hear him. What are you thinking about over there? Grandpa Joe asked. Oh, nothing. Kevin mumbled, still smiling to himself. Maybe one day he would live the dream. Okay, Well, it's time for a star, his grandfather said. So, gathered around close, Kevin and Kelly glanced to each other and rolled their eyes.
Okay. All right, good. Let's go to this word here, glanced. This is an ed ending instead of glanced. The word is glanced.
Glanced.
Okay, so Kevin and Callie glanced at each other.
Kevin and Kelly glanced at each other.
Okay, so you're almost there. You're leaving this T off. Glanced at. Glanced at.
Glanced at.
Good. Kevin and Callie glanced at each other.
Kevin and Kelly glanced at each other.
Okay, very nice. Next up here is well. Okay, instead of saying well, okay, pronounce an L at the end. Well.
Well.
Good. Okay, well, it's time for a story.
Okay, well, it's time for a start.
Okay, give me this E sound here at the end instead of story.
Story.
Good. Okay, well, it's time for a story.
Okay, well, it's time for a story.
Okay, good. Next up here is one day instead of on day, it's one. Maybe one day.
Maybe one day.
Okay, good job. Next is there, right here. So in the word there, you're pronouncing a D, saying over there, with a D sound. Instead of over there, it's there. Use your tongue and your teeth. There.
There.
Good. So, thinking about over there.
Think about over there.
There. Use your tongue.
There.
Thinking
There.
about over there.
Think about over there.
Okay, good. Okay, let's try these here. Busy daydreaming. So our stress is going to be here. Instead of saying daydreaming, it's daydreaming. Too busy daydreaming.
Too busy daydreaming.
Good. One more time. Too busy daydreaming.
Too busy daydreaming.
Okay, good. And let's see here. Our last one is calling. Okay, with an ing. Ling. Calling.
Calling.
Good. Calling his name.
Calling his name.
All right, nice job. Thank you. Okay, next up is V. Okay, V, please continue from Grandpa Joe. Finish here. And read down to in a hushed voice, please.
Grandpa Joe always had crazy stories to tell around the bonfire, stories that were too far-fetched to believe. But the two siblings each grabbed a long stick, stuck marshmallows on their ends, started to roast them over the fire, and waited for their grandfather to begin. More than a century ago, my grandfather was out fishing on a night like this. Grandpa Joe said in a hushed voice.
Okay, very good. All right, let's practice here. Fishing. Connect those sounds instead of fishing. Fishing.
Fishing.
Good. So, was out fishing on a night like this.
Was out fishing on a night like this.
Good. Much better with the connection. Okay. We're going to do the same thing with grandfather. Okay, but we want the gr here instead of grandfather. It's grandfather. Okay. Do not pronounce the D. The D is silent. Grandfather.
Grandfather.
Good. So, waited for their grandfather to begin.
Waited for their grandfather to begin.
Good. One more time. Waited for their grandfather to begin.
Waited for their grandfather to begin.
Okay. Good. And let's go to grabbed right here. Okay, this is grabbed.
Grab. D or T? D?
D, grabbed.
Yeah.
The B is a voiced sound.
Grabbed.
Good. So, but the two siblings each grabbed a long stick.
But the two siblings each grabbed a long stick.
Give me a GR instead of GU. Instead of saying guabbed, it's grabbed.
But the two siblings each grabbed a long stick.
There you go. Good job. Okay. And last one here is crazy stories. Okay, so two things here. Work on that E sound at the end, both in crazy and stories. Okay, as well as the R instead of quasi and stowies. Crazy stories.
Crazy stories.
Good job. One more time. Crazy stories.
Crazy stories.
Good job. Okay, thank you, V. Excellent.
Thank you.
Okay, next up is Vincenzo.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, Vincenzo, please continue from no one was out. Okay, and read down to here where it says Lakeshore Drive, please.
Yes. No one was out, and his was the only boat in sight. He and his buddy stayed out for a while, but not because the fish biting. Kept his marshmallow between two crackers and a piece of chocolate. He took a hasty bite, and Grandpa Joe continued. Their way home, they drove to Lakeshore Drive.
Okay. All right, let's go to here. It may have been skipping just a bit. Let's try this, though. Lakeshore Drive. Give me a good
Yeah.
shore there.
Lakeshore Drive.
There you go. Good job. Okay, let's go to on their way home. So your voice needs to come down instead of saying on their way home. Okay, on their way home.
On their way home.
Okay, so not on their way, it's on their way home. Ba-da-da-dum, coming down the whole time. On their way home.
On their way home. On way home.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Let's go to crackers instead of crackers. Crackers.
Crackers.
There you go. One more time. Crackers. Okay, so this is between 2 graham crackers.
Between 2 graham crackers.
Give me a good GR instead of gram, gram. Between 2 graham crackers.
Between 2 graham crackers.
Okay, very nice. Next one here is marshmallow. Marshmallow.
Marshmallow.
Okay, good. So Kevin smashed his marshmallow.
Kevin smashed his marshmallow.
Good, good. All right, nice job. Nice job, Vincenzo. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, teacher.
No problem. Okay, Lakeshore Drive. Okay, good. Let's go back up to the top with Amparo. Amparo, please read from So They Could See. Finish here and come down to gooey marshmallows, please.
So they could see the lake in full view from up high. My grandpa said that he noticed something dark in the water. It looked like a log, but it was almost too big to be a piece of driftwood. He kept his eye on it for a while, and eventually he paused for effect. It moved. Kelly let out a gasp. Her mouth and fingers were sticky from the gooey marshmallows.
Okay. All right, good. Let's go to gooey. So goo. Yeah, so The difference, you need to move your lips just a little bit more instead of saying gooey, okay? Goo. And that ooh with your lips coming together. Goo, gooey.
Gooey.
There we go. Goo. The gooey marshmallows.
The gooey marshmallows.
Okay. So, let's see. We're sticky from the gooey marshmallows.
We're sticky from the gooey marshmallows.
Okay, good. Let's go to the word it. Instead of saying eat, eat moved. Okay. Short I. It moved.
It moved.
All right, very good. Okay. Let's go to the word log. Okay.
Log.
So, yeah, your ending was just a little too strong, saying log. Okay, and it was more of an sound there. So, it looked like a log.
It looked like a log.
There you go, one more time. It looked like a log.
It looked like a log.
Okay, almost. That was a little too strong. Instead of log, log.
Log.
Okay. All right, one more. It looked like a log.
It looked like a log.
Okay. All right. And let's go to last one here. Noticed. Get this T to jump out here. He noticed something.
He noticed something.
There you go. He noticed something dark in the water.
He noticed something dark in the water.
Okay. Instead of water, open the mouth. Water.
Water.
Good. He noticed something dark in the water.
He noticed something dark in the water.
All right. Very nice. Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay. Next up is Edson.
Yep.
Okay. Please read from Kevin laughed. Okay. And read down to here where it says, said Grandpa Joe.
Kevin laughed, and then he asked, "Come on, are you saying that there is some Cuyahoga Lake monster out there?" "It is oil, Granny," Grandpa Joe exclaimed. "Check the old papers in the early 90s. The Ithaca Journal reporters wouldn't even go near the lake for fear of being snatched up by the monster." "Were there other sightings?" Kelly asked. "Sure there were," said Grandpa Joe.
Okay, very good. Let's go to this question here. This is, were there other sightings? So working on a couple things here. The THs, there, other, and then a good ing sound here. Okay, were there other sightings? Callie asked.
"Were there other sightings?" Kelly asked.
Okay, good. Let's go to the word snatched. ED ending instead of snatched. The word is snatched, being snatched up.
Being snatched up.
Okay, now with snatched, let's go right to the S instead of saying snatched. Okay, take off the It's being snatched up.
Being snatched up.
Good job. Okay, and we're going to say for fear of being snatched up by the monster.
For fear of being snatched up by the monster.
Okay, instead of monster, monster.
Monster.
Okay, good. Next up is the word 1900s. 1900s.
1900s.
Okay, good. So this is check the old papers in the early 1900s.
Check the old papers in the early 1900s.
Okay, good. And our last one here is asked. Instead of asked, okay, it is asked.
Asked.
Okay, so there isn't a need to pronounce the K. Okay, so the K doesn't need to be pronounced, so it's asked.
Asked.
Good, good. Kevin laughed and then he asked.
Kevin laughed and then he asked.
Good. All right, nice job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's go to Hugo. Hugo, please read from in the 1970s down to here where it says out over the water, please.
In the 1970s, a kid claimed that he was bitten by old Greenie, and Bowter said that he and his friends spotted something they thought was a huge log, but then it dived beneath the surface of the water. "Wow!" Callie exclaimed. Her eyes had grown twice in size, and her jaw dropped. Kevin glared at the thought of her believing in these lake monster stories, but as he looked out over the water.
Okay, very good. Let's go to the word giggled. Giggled.
Giggle. Giggle.
Give me a D sound. Giggled.
Giggled.
There you go. Good. So, Kevin giggled at the thought.
Kevin giggled at the thought.
Good. One more time. Kevin giggled at the thought.
Kevin giggled at the thought.
Okay. Next up is the word jaw.
Jaw.
There you go. That's the J sound. And her jaw dropped. Oh, sorry. And her jaw dropped.
And her jaw dropped.
Okay. Notice how when I say jaw in the beginning of drop, feel and sound the same. Jaw drop. It's not jaw drop. It's drop. So it's a J sound at the beginning of both of them. Her jaw dropped.
Jaw dropped.
Jaw dropped. One more time.
Jaw dropped.
Okay, get that j sound there at the beginning with the D. Okay? So jaw dropped.
Jaw dropped.
There you go. That's better. That's better. Excellent. Okay. Next is jaw. Okay, right here. Okay, ED ending. Spotted.
Spotted.
One more time. Spotted.
Spotted.
Good. His friends spotted something they thought was a huge log.
His friends spotted something they thought was a huge log.
Okay, so a couple things here. Instead of spotted, okay, we're going to say spotted.
Spotted.
Okay, his friends spotted.
His friends spotted.
Okay, and then we're going to work on huge. Instead of huge log, huge.
Huge log.
Good, good. A huge log.
A huge log.
Okay, much better, much better. Okay, so let's put the whole thing together. His friends spotted something they thought was a huge log.
His friends spotted something they thought was a huge log.
Okay, good. All right, and our last one here. Okay, 1970s. Okay, so before you had said 90 17s. Okay, like that. Okay, so it's 1970s.
1970s.
There you go, one more time. 1970s.
1970s.
Good job. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Great, let's go to Mario. Oh, last sentence here. Mario, let me have you read this, and then I will have you continue on the next story, please. So from he down to the end.
Okay. He wondered if something strange was out there, hidden in the deep.
Okay, let's take a look at 3 words. Instead of heating, this word is hiding.
Hiding.
Okay, one more time. Hiding.
Hiding.
Good. Was out there hiding in the deep.
Was out there hiding in the deep.
Good. Let's go to the TR sound. So with the TR, it's pronounced like a CHR. Okay, so it's strange instead of strange. Strange.
Strange.
Okay, good. Now take off the eh. Instead of strange, it's strange.
Strange.
Okay, good. And we're going to work on wondered as well. Right here, instead of wondered, the E is silent. This guy right here. So instead of wondered, he wondered if something strange.
He wondered if something strange.
Okay, much better with wondered. Let's try strange one more time. Instead of strange, okay, push your tongue downward. Okay, so it does not touch the top of your mouth. Okay, it is strange.
Strange.
Good, good. All right, much better, much better. Okay, let's go to our next story, you guys. This is this one here. Okay. All right, so Mario, let's have you continue. Okay, floating classroom. Give me 1 second. Here we go. Okay, please continue from all aboard down to we're trailing behind. Please.
Okay. Aboard, the captain yelled. She stood at the entrance of the small boat. Her short grey hair, covered by a blue baseball cap, had Cayuga-like floating classroom embroidered on the front. Laura smiled at her as she stepped on the boat with her two friends, Jack and Emilia, who were trailing behind.
Okay. All right, so your R is the most important one here. Every R that you came to, you pronounced it like a Spanish R. Okay? So let's practice that this time around, okay? So give me a good R. Copy me here. I want you to say er. Uh-huh. Okay, one more time. Er. Good. So let's try this. We're going to say trailing.
Trailing.
Good. Better. This word here is were. Good. We have the word friends.
Friends.
Good. We have her. Good. Okay, let's go to Laura. Good. Front. Okay. Right here. Embroidered. Okay, instead of it's embroidered. Okay, almost. So, right here, I want you to say broy. Good. One more time. Broy. Okay, that's better. Embroidered. Okay, now the E at the end of these words, we do not pronounce it. Instead of embroidered, it's embroidered. There you go. Good job. Okay. Let's go to the word classroom. Good. Covered. Instead of covered. Okay. All right, and we're going to try her short gray hair. Okay. And last one here, entrance. Okay, now let's try this. Okay. She stood at the entrance of the small boat, her short gray hair covered by a blue baseball cap. Read that. Focus on your R's. Okay, go ahead and read that, please.
Okay. She stood at the entrance of the small boat, her short grey hair covered by a blue baseball cap.
Okay, so it was a little better. It was a little better, but we hit the R here on entrance, okay, and her as well as gray. Okay, so as you're reading, you know how to pronounce those R's, but you have to focus. Okay, you cannot pronounce English words like you would pronounce them in Spanish. It doesn't work. Okay?
Okay,
All right,
thanks.
keep focusing on your R's, right? Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, let's go to Hinata.
Okay.
Okay, they fanned themselves. Okay, finish here. And let's see here. Yeah, go ahead and read down to plan for the day trip, please.
They fanned themselves with their notebook as their classmates boarded the boat after them. The temperature was climbing up toward 90 degrees Fahrenheit. The trio found refuge in the shelter that the boat's overhang provided. After everyone had taken a seat on the deck of the boat, the captain had applied of the safety rules and planned for the day trip.
Okay, very good. Let's go to the word safety. Instead of safety, safa, it's safety. The E is silent, no E sound. Safety rules.
Safety rules.
Okay, good. Let's go to the word rattled. Rattled.
Rattled.
Good. The captain rattled off the safety rules.
The captain rattled off their safety rules.
Okay. Next one here is boat instead of boat. Okay. The A does not make a sound. If we do not say boa, it's bow. Boat. Boat.
Boat.
Good job. One more time. Boat.
Boat.
Good. On the deck of the boat.
On the deck of the boat.
Okay, good. Let's go to the word shade. Okay, long A. Aid, shade.
Shade.
Good. In the shade that the boat's overhang provided.
In the shade that the boat's overhang provided.
Okay, instead of boats, boats. In the shade that the boat's overhang provided.
In the shade that the boat's overhang provided.
Okay, let's go to climbing up toward. Climbing up toward.
Climbing upward.
One more time. Climbing up toward 90 degrees Fahrenheit.
Climbing up. Repeat this
Yep.
word. Toward.
Climbing. So the B is silent. Climbing up toward. Toward.
Climb up toward.
There you go. So no B. Don't pronounce the B in climbing. Okay? This B here is silent. It's not climbing. It's climbing. Climbing.
Okay. Climbing.
Good job. Good job. Okay? And let's go to fanned. Instead of fanned, the word is fanned.
Fanned.
Good. So they fanned themselves with their notebooks.
They fanned themselves with their notebook.
Notebooks.
Notebooks. I'm sorry.
Good. They fanned themselves with their notebooks.
They fanned themselves with their notebooks.
Okay, almost. Instead of fanned, the word is fanned. They fanned themselves with their notebooks.
Defend. Correct, teacher. Defend.
Nope, not fanned. Fanned.
Fanned. Fanned.
Good. Good.
Defend.
They fanned themselves with their notebooks.
Defend themselves with their notebooks.
Good. Much better. Much better. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Good. Let's go to V.
Yes.
Please read from Laura's class down to happen to the boat, please.
Yeah. Laura's class was spending the day on Cayuga Lake in upstate New York to learn about water clarity, how to collect water samples, and even how to examine plant life. Captain Matthews, as she introduced herself, pointed to the life jackets that were hanging above them, and mentioned that everyone should always have a buddy in case anything happened to the boat.
Okay, good job. Let's go over how we say buddy. So here you said should always have a buddy. Okay, and your voice went up. Okay, keep it down. Should always have a buddy. So da-dum. Come down on that. Should always have a buddy in case anything happened to the boat. Try that.
Should always have buddy in case anything happened to the boat.
Okay, now add the word a. Should always have a buddy in case anything happened to the boat.
Should always have should always have a buddy. Is that right? Should always
Should
have
always have a buddy.
should always have a buddy in case anything happened to the boat.
Okay, in case anything.
In case anything.
Okay, good. All right, try the whole thing one more time.
Should always have a buddy in case anything happened to the boat.
There you go. Good job. Okay, let's go to pointed. ED ending. Pointed to the life jackets.
Pointed to the life jackets.
Point. Yes. Now, you can say pointed. Okay, and treat it kind of like the word wanted. Instead of saying wanted, we say wanted. Same thing with pointed. Okay, pointed to the life jackets. One more time.
Pointed to the life jackets.
Okay, good. And your last one is New York. Okay, so when we say New York, the stress is on York. Okay, so instead of saying New York, it's New York.
New York.
Good, good. On Cayuga Lake in upstate New York.
On Cayuga Lake in upstate New York.
Okay, all right, good job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, very nice. Let's go to Vincenzo. All right,
Yes.
Vincenzo, please read from, but let's get to the fun stuff. Okay, finish here. Here, and yeah, go ahead and read down to from behind her, please.
Okay. But let's get to the fun stuff, right? Captain said into her microphone, Laurel. Laurel and her friends cheered. They loved being out of the water. They often went over to Emilia's house on the shore of the lake to go swimming and boating. First on the list today, testing the lake's water clarity. Captain said. She pulled out a small disc behind her.
Okay, very good. Let's go to the word behind. Right here, long I. From behind her.
Behind her.
One more time. From behind her.
From behind her.
Okay, good. Let's go to the word pulled instead of pulled. Okay, it's pulled.
Pulled.
Okay,
Pulled.
good. One more time. Pulled.
Pulled.
Good. She pulled out a small disc.
She pulled out a small disc.
Okay, good. Next up is over. Right here instead of over. Over.
Over.
Okay, nice. So they often went over to Amelia's house.
And went over to Emilia's house.
Okay, one more time. They often went over to Amelia's house.
They often went over to Emilia's.
Okay. Let's go to the word cheered. ED ending instead of cheered. The word is cheered.
Cheered.
Okay, good job. So, this is Lara and her friends cheered.
Laurel and her friend cheered.
Cheered. Lara and her friends cheered. One more time.
And her friends cheered. Cheered.
Okay. Yeah,
cheered.
okay, so with that
Cheered.
R, with the R, you don't need to swallow it so much by saying cheer, okay, and really pushing it back in the back of your mouth, okay? Really, the way to overcome that is to push the sound forward in the mouth, and push your lips out, okay? So when you're pronouncing that, instead of cheer and pulling it back here, push your lips forward.
Yeah.
Cheered.
Cheered.
There you go. Yeah. So when we pronounce that R,
okay.
our lips come forward.
Cheered.
Cheered.
Teacher, my question. Normally, but the R is not. Is always pronounced with the tongue. No.
Yes, it is pronounced with the tongue. It's pronounced with the tongue. That's right. Okay. But in this particular instance, okay, you're pulling your tongue way too far back. You're saying cheer, and it's being swallowed back here.
Yeah.
And so to overcome that, if you focus on pushing your lips forward, you won't get the sound. You'll get the sound. Okay, by pushing your lips forward. Okay.
Yes.
Cheered.
Okay.
Good. All right. Excellent.
Cheered.
Thank you very much. Okay, you guys. Let's go ahead and pause here. Okay. Thanks everyone for coming in. We'll see you later. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Thank you too.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye bye, teacher. See you.